I don't think I've had more pleasure to introduce someone to this club than Dr. Nouria Salehi. There were some details contained in the newsletter about her, and she is the Executive Director of the Afghan-Australian Development Organisation. She's an Afghan-Australian nuclear physicist, biophysicist and humanitarian, and she's the founder of this organisation. In addition to her work with research in nuclear medicine, she has travelled to Afghanistan many, many times at the risk of her own life to establish teacher training programs, apprenticeships, literacy programs, and a large range of initiatives to drive change and empower young people, and particularly women, in their communities. Now, I think we all know a little bit about the history of Afghanistan, and particularly the more recent history. So you can imagine the challenge that is involved in undertaking that work, particularly since the Taliban resumed control of Afghanistan. She has many awards, including Victorian Senior Citizen of the Year, finalist in the Australian of the Year Award, a Rotary International Award, and is a member of the Order of Australia. Would you like to make her welcome?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to see you, and thank you, I thank David for inviting me to be here today and speak about my country of birth, Afghanistan. Yes, Afghanistan today is full of resources, but nobody can use them. It is a country with a lot of challenges. It is a country between East and West, and the different ethnic groups. It's not one or two to control it. There are many, many different races. Like I can count 8 or 9, but actually there were 28 different ethnic groups living in Afghanistan. I started my project in 2001 in Afghanistan. I went from classroom to classroom to see how the students are learning and how the teachers are delivering. And I found that the maths and physics was a big problem. Nobody knew that 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. So I said I should do something for the country. But I couldn't do for everyone because I didn't get any grant from the government. And I had no money. For the little money that I had, I trained 6,400 teachers. And how did we work in Afghanistan? I started first with life skill for women in the villages. I remember the first day when I went and they said talk with the leader of our community. I went and I saw the leader of the community and I said I want to start courses for women. He said no, it's not possible. No, we don't want. The second day that I went and I heard the same thing. The third day I went with a little bit more knowledge. I said, look, for women who comes to my classes, I gave $1 per day. And suddenly I saw them changing, starting talking, and they said, oh, we can pay with $1 per day for our tea and sugar. So they accepted, and I started. I started for 25 women in the village, and from one village it went to the second and third and fourth. But the first village I paid $25 per day for the ladies. But for the rest I said, I don't have money. If you want to continue, I can. And we have teachers and trainers to teach you. They accept. So I trained until now 2,300 women. And our course is current. Taliban didn't stop us. Why they didn't stop? Because we are political. And we are not changing anything. We go and teach and train women and men in Afghanistan. So they didn't interfere with my work in Afghanistan, which is a good plus for our team. And then I started the science teacher training. Science teacher training, I said if I train girls at this age, it's difficult because there's millions of girls that are going to school. I started training the teachers from one area to another, from one province to another. Unfortunately, I didn't have and I couldn't get any fund from the government. With the little money I was getting from the Australian, I was putting together and running a program. And so far we went to 7 different provinces, like Herat, Mazar Sharif, Kunar, anyway, you don't know, but it is 7 provinces. With going to the 7 provinces plus Kabul, we reached to 6,000, and we trained 6,000. And what we did with the schools, we asked the principal of the school that the girls who are going to the teachers that they are coming to us, you should allow them 2 hours per week to teach another teachers, right? So one teacher came, learned something, and 2 hours per week they taught the other teachers, which was a big plus for the schools that they did that. And can I change that? Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. I put first. There's no picture in this because we are not allowed to show the girls on the picture. So what we've done during the Taliban time, we are doing the life sciences skill in the villages, and so far through the 3-4 years the Taliban are there, we trained 400 women in the villages. And also 400 master science teachers we trained. 100 was men and 300 women. And now you're asking me, why you train the 300 that the schools are closed and they don't want ladies to go to school. But they promised to us to give them jobs. And yes, when they finished, they went directly to the secondary school and they started teaching. For us was, we spent money on them, but one thing was good, and it is good, that they found a job. They became breadwinner for their families. And the last thing that we did, we created a very special courses for young girls, 16, 17, 18, that they are going at year 10, 11, and 12. So we did in 3 different options. First option that they went directly and physically attended the classes. The second option was the online. And the third one, because for people that they were very poor and they couldn't afford to have a computer at home, we gave them a USB. So they learned through the USB. So it's still on and it's still current and we are going on. And a lot of organizations stayed without any help, because the day Taliban arrived in Afghanistan, people there started ringing me and asking me, what are you doing with your classes? I said, until Taliban tell me that stop, you're not allowed, we are continuing. But fortunately, in 2016, I had 3 talibs in our classes, in biology, physics, and chemistry. And these teachers, they said, they reported to the Taliban that we were very honest, and they learned a lot about their subjects. So we should allow them to go ahead. So they didn't approach me, they let me doing classes in the villages, lifestyle, and also the second one was the Muslim science teacher training. Why I stopped this Muslim science teacher training? Because we couldn't afford anymore, and we didn't get enough money. Before that, these are our classes before Taliban arrives. So she's the trainer, and she was teaching the students, male and female all together. It was not that male should stay in one side and the female another. It was a mixture, and we had, each time we had around 100 students. And yes, in the villages was not the same. There's only one girls' school in each village. So the rest of men, and they were coming with their bokra, which are the need to cover their face, and they were doing, and they were learning something from us. Yeah. You see, they were very cruel, the teachers, with each other. Okay? So, but today, it's not the same. When we wanted to take pictures from our students, they didn't allow us. They didn't know. Don't use your camera. So the girls are trying to learn something. So we should give them an opportunity to learn and to study. So we created our classes for them, even at home. But it is not for all Afghanistan. It is only for one part of Kabul that we know and we can look after them. The rest stays moved. They contacted me, but I don't have any opportunity and economical financial support to give them something.
You don't need to hold that. You can just put it down.
Sorry?
Yeah, just put it down.
Okay.
So you don't need to hold it.
Right.
Yep.
So if you don't need, don't take it. Yeah, and I go ahead and I'm trying to create a new course for young boys that they want to become engineers, or especially in engineering, with a science academy. It takes time, of course, but I try to create it and tell them that yes, you can learn more on maths and physics, and then you don't need to send them to India or somewhere else to learn. They can study inside of Afghanistan. So, yeah, this is in the villages. In the village, usually they don't show their faces, so this that we give them some material, and they are showing the material they received from us. They're all sitting on the floor, no chairs and no tables. Me and the group of women that they are attending really with interest to learn something from us. Yeah, and this is our vocational training. What we do, I shed cloth, the black one, because the uniform in Afghanistan is in black. And we gave them, and we teach them how to cut it and how to make it. So they make hundreds of clothing, uniforms for people that disadvantaged people that they cannot afford to buy. Okay. So we had, sorry, can't tell them that. Yeah. Our project was, we had soil teacher training, life skill, and also carpentry, that we are not doing it anymore. We trained 93 carpenters. Yeah, but it cost us a lot of money because we couldn't do, it was not a school, it was just an area to teach them. And also infrastructure and material, which is, these women are widows, and we help them to set up something in their homes and cook bread for all the village. Instead of village, they individually they cook, they bake their bread, they are doing it and selling it to them. They bring their heart attack with it. So, next. Yeah. He says, she's got 6 children, and she's the breadwinner for the children. And emergency release, as I told you, we gave them for 1 month food and plus the uniforms. And then it was very small. She came and she said, "This is, I cannot wear this one, change it." So she said, This is in a village that they don't have school. So we try to teach them at home or in the garden. Yeah. See how many are? And they don't have schools. What we do, we provide with a notebook, pen and paper. Some children, they come without shoes. They don't have money to buy a pair of shoes and come to the school. Yeah. This group, they are at year 5 or 6. Yeah. That's it. Girls are sitting in one area and boys in another. And you see the boy hasn't got a pair of shoes coming without, but they are not missing the school. Yeah, we bought some tables and chairs. Someone gave us money and took it to them. During the winter time, we distributed blankets for people. And I went to the United Nations, UNAMA, to say what's going on and what they're doing in Afghanistan, sitting and drinking tea or working for people. Yeah. These are the organizations and philanthropic organization that helped me. The last image of Afghanistan. Yeah. Finished.
Okay, thanks, Nouria. We might have some questions.
That question,
Yeah.
one question. I'm sorry, 10 days ago I had a mini stroke. I was in the hospital, but I'm not missing the meeting.
Well done.
It's why my voice is.
Now, any questions that anyone would like to ask Nouria? Nouria, just in relation to your organisation itself, how many are involved with your organisation?
Now,
Yeah.
because every year it changed. In Afghanistan, I've got 5 staff
Yep.
that they are working for us. And here we've got a committee of management of 6 people. So yeah, it's not a big organization, but we're doing more than big organization in Afghanistan.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do you have any trouble in going to Afghanistan? Is there any problems about?
No problem. No, I don't touch the politics. I don't allow my staff to talk about the politics, and I tell them, do your work. And if you have any politics, you go home and talk with your friends, right? Not in the Arabs.
Yep. Yep. So, but there's no problems in.
It's why I didn't get any problem
Yep.
in that Taliban. All they said, welcome, well done, and you can continue anytime. So I prefer that, except of talking about Taliban and what they are doing in Afghanistan. I know, I am aware, but I don't want to speak for the benefit of my people in Afghanistan. If I say something, it goes within the minute, and then they don't let me to get inside of the country, or they talk something against me, and I don't want. I want people, they learn something with a little money that I collect from my friends and people.
And is there any problems about being able to transfer money into Afghanistan for the purposes of your programs?
We had a bank account with Commonwealth Bank, which is still there, and we have got some money in it. But when Taliban came, they stopped everything. And we didn't know how to send money to Afghanistan to support our project. So I found it. So I pay in Melbourne, and then there's a few money changes, and they sent it to Afghanistan. So I gave them money within 10 minutes. It's in Kabul. So they've got people they are serving in Afghanistan, and they call my staff and gave them money.
Yep. So you can then access the money in Afghanistan.
Oh yes, so we have access money to the money changes.
Yep. Okay. And yes.
Do you have any trouble having access to teaching girls?
No.
They don't mind you.
We've got, now that I'm talking with you, we've got 100 women in the villages that they learn, and also around 150 girls that they're coming physically in following our classes. If you keep their code, as they say, that girls should be this, girls shouldn't talk with a man, and should come to our classes and then can go home, and they don't say anything. They let us do it.
Yeah, if you play by the rules, it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Follow their rules.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Yes.
Yeah, do
Right.
you see people who have been injured during things that happened in Afghanistan?
Well, people are injured and people have been killed. That happens every day,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And now we don't know what they are doing tomorrow. Like Pakistan, is a puppet regime for contact of America and British in this area of the world. So to them, all of the connection is through the Pakistan. And Pakistan is in contact with the Taliban group. There are two different Taliban groups in Afghanistan. One created by Pakistan and another created by Afghans. So what they do, Pakistan is in contact with both, but Trump is contact is only one group who is created in Pakistan. He doesn't like the Afghan one. So he's working with them. And Pakistan is with both, unfortunately. And they don't let that Afghan one, which is really associated with Pakistan, don't let the girls to go to school. Afghani group is better. But Afghani didn't. He was not in Afghanistan. He grew up in Pakistan, and we consider him as a Pakistani. He doesn't speak our language, so it makes it difficult.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, Nouria. Yep. Was it anyone else? No. Nouria, thanks very much for making the effort to come, particularly as you've had a bit of a medical issue recently. So we really appreciate it. I mean, if anyone's interested, you can go to their website and it's got further details about their work, and it shows you if you're interested in making a donation to the foundation. You can do that through the website. I got to know Nouria of her because she gave a presentation to a group that I'm involved with called Melbourne Forum a few years ago about her work, and I was so impressed that I joined the ranks of one of her supporters, which I'll continue to do. But anyone's interested, by all means, have a look at their website, and you can get more details and how you can support them. It's just extraordinary work, bearing in mind the conditions they're working under. It's remarkable that it's being done, and we should be, in my view, supporting them as much as we can.